I'm getting out into the garden to see what veggies we have to harvest because I'm hoping that we can spend today in the kitchen making some really tasty treats with some garden fresh produce. Good morning, and see if there's anything that we can use today for cooking with some garden fresh produce. I have some really great ideas for some fun things that we can make. So let's get out into the garden and see what's ready for us. Got one little zucchini squash. Beans are doing great. We are going to make some zucchini bread with our garden fresh zucchini.
First up, we have to grate our zucchini. You could easily do this with a food processor if you have one. I thought since I'm only grating up one zucchini today, it would be easy enough just to use a box grater. Also, I wanted to show that you didn't necessarily need any fancy kitchen tools to do this. I grated our zucchini into a measuring cup to make it easy to measure for our recipe. It looks like we have just about 2 cups of zucchini, so I know that I can make 2 recipes or 2 loaves worth of zucchini bread. Next, I'm going to take the zucchini and put it into a clean kitchen towel. If you've cooked with zucchini before, then you know that it's a vegetable that has a lot of moisture in it. We don't want all that extra liquid from the zucchini to change the texture of our recipe and the amount of liquid in our recipe, so we are going to wring the extra moisture out with a kitchen towel before we move on to the next step.
Now we're just going to take our zucchini and set it to the side. Up next, I'm going to mix our flour, sugar, baking soda, baking powder. So because we had about 2 cups of zucchini, I'm going to plan on doubling the recipe. So I'll need 3 cups of all-purpose flour.
The recipe here calls for sifting together our flour, sugar, baking soda, baking powder, essentially all of our dry ingredients. If you don't have a sifter, you could certainly do this by pushing your ingredients through a fine mesh sieve or putting them into a bowl and sort of whisking them together to make sure that there's no clumps in your flour. Next, I'm going to add our cinnamon and nutmeg. If I can find a teaspoon that is small enough. Those ingredients are also going to get sifted in with our flour and other dry ingredients. The recipe calls for using white sugar and brown sugar. I checked in my pantry to see if I had those ingredients, and I didn't, but I did have a lot of sugar in the raw. So I just used the organic sugar in the raw in replacement for both white and brown sugar. I tend not to be a recipe follower, but if you want to follow it to the T, I'll link the recipe below and you can decide what to do.
And I'm not sure that this is going to adequately sift, so we'll see. At any rate, the recipe calls for a cup of white sugar and a cup of brown sugar, so do with that what you will. Up next, the recipe says that in a different bowl, we're going to whisk together our applesauce, coconut oil, and vanilla. For the coconut oil, you can use any neutral oil, you can use vegetable oil, you can use melted coconut oil, you can use whatever you have on hand.
Next up, to your bowl of wet ingredients, you're going to add 2 cups of applesauce. Next, we're going to add 3 tablespoons of vanilla, then mix all of our wet ingredients to combine. Finally, we're going to mix our wet ingredients into our dry ingredients and stir until just combined. After that, we'll add our zucchini and fold it in gently. Our family really loves making zucchini bread. It's one of those recipes that you can really customize it to your taste and make it however you like it. If you like to add walnuts, you could add walnuts. If you like to add any fruit, you can add different fruit. Several times we've done blueberries in our zucchini bread, but we've really been enjoying strawberries this summer, so I thought strawberries would be a nice addition to the bread. This step is not really part of the recipe, not fully necessary, but what I did to help the bread release from the pan really easily is just lined it with parchment paper. And I left a little bit hanging over the edge on each side so I could easily pull it, pick it up out of the pan, and put it onto the drying rack so that it could cool. It just makes for a little bit easier lifting out of the pan if you ever have issues with your breads or cakes sticking to your pans.
just wait. It should take about 45 to 55 minutes for our loaves to be done. Then we'll take them out, let them cool, and enjoy. I'll bring you back when the loaves are all done.
When I was young, I learned this method of checking your baked goods with a piece of uncooked spaghetti. If it comes out clean, the bread's done. If it comes out still mushy with anything on the spaghetti, then it's not done. Does anyone else do this method of checking their baked goods? I've been wondering if it's just me. Let me know in the comments below. Some time has passed. It's now officially the morning. The sun's up, the rest of the family's up. I'm in the office now, but I just wanted to let you know that the zucchini bread came out so beautifully. Look at it. We got nice, light and fluffy, smells amazing. So tasty. So, if you got some zucchini in your garden, I hope you'll try this recipe. It's definitely a favorite in our house, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks again so much for watching. And until our next time together, I will share another video in the description that you can watch until my next upload. I've got 3 breakfast freezer meals video that I can pop in the description for you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.